Gary, we've had a run of bad results recently. Again today we've lost 4-2 at home to hashtag. We talked about different formations and you changed it around a bit today, brought different players into the team. What were your thoughts behind that?
Well, initially, Chris, we're on an extremely tough run of results, aren't we? It's the group of players are suffering massively, and it feels like everything we try at present, and we have tried different formations and different methods and even different styles of play within the systems to just try and realign the group and find ourselves a win, because it's been a run of results that's been really tough on the group. I mean, there's a group of players downstairs that that look a shadow of themselves, Chris, from the early part of the season. We've had some players suffering performance-wise for about 10-12 games, but what's happened, the players that were on form and were where they needed to be, this run of results has seen them suffer as well. So collectively we have a real, a group that are mentally not quite where they need to be, and you can see that there's a fragile mindset. They're a little brittle at times, and the second goal, it was again similar to the first goal at Chatham last week. I thought when they scored their second goal, I thought we showed a good reaction on the back of the first goal, but I thought the second goal was a really poor mistake on our part and a lack of desire, really, and effort to get back in initially. And I've not questioned that too often with a group, but I felt it was there. And it seems like, as I just said, everything we do change and everything we do add, and the board have been overly supportive. So, as I said in the programme notes, we've tried to get 2 or 3 bodies in that we haven't been successful with, that we felt would improve us, and we've managed to get a couple in recently that I do honestly believe improve us, but it's not having the desired effect at the moment. We need to find a scruffy win, and we need to find a scruffy win quickly. And where's that going to come from? It's up to me to find a way, and that is what the working week ahead of us will be.
Up to the Canvey match, I think we had one of the best defences in the league, if not the best defence in the league, conceding goals. I think it took us till January to concede 17 goals. And now, since the Canvey match, we've conceded another 17 goals. Do you think our problems lie in defence, or do you think they lie elsewhere?
I don't think all areas of the pitch are quite where they need to be, Chris. Defending very much starts from the front. We've conceded poor goals from set plays where that's not necessarily the defence. We've made a lot of individual errors that have led to goals. I mean, 17 goals conceded in 5 games tells you all you need to know. That's not good enough. That's far from good enough, and that wasn't something that was evident at the start of the season. So I go back to saying that what we look like in them first 4 or 5 months of the season, we're not where we was, and we need to go back to basics. I think we had a working week this week to attempt to go back to basics, but we're still making individual errors. If you look at 3 of their goals, they are individual mistakes, Chris, and you can't legislate for those. Players need to be accountable. I'm never a manager that's going to put any players under the bus. It's never how I've worked. We're in this together. I say that regularly. We need to, as I say, find a way to build confidence and build some belief in the change room, which is obviously pretty short at the moment. We've got a group that have shown what they're capable of, but they're far from showing what they're capable of at the moment. And we need to halt the slide very, very quickly. And it's out of our hands. It feels like a little now, with everyone closing in on us, and games in hand as well. But we are still in there. There's not too many positives to take out the run of results that we've had of recent, but we are still in there, and we've got to look to as I say, arrest the run of results, and that's only going to happen with hard graft and hard work, and as I say, management skills, I suppose, for myself. I've been here before with different groups, with young groups, because there is a lot of young players still in that squad, and and they're going to need building up, and then they're going to need as much support as they possibly can get, and it's my job to do that, Chris, and they'll have my full backing going forward.
So how do you reinstall confidence into that?
Well, I said to you, there's no magic formula. It's result based. We put on a game Tuesday with that in mind, to try and create a bit more confidence and belief in the group, and to instill the system that we wanted to look at, and look at the grey areas within that. But we've got to find a result. We've got to find a collective performance, because I've just said to you, individually we're not quite where we need to be, but collectively over the 3 different areas of the pitch we're not quite where we need to be. It all needs to come together, and it needs to come together very quickly. As I say, we're trying every which way we can to try and get ourselves back on track, but we need to do that sooner than later. We've got 9 games left now, and they're 9 huge games. If you look at the next 4 that are facing us, we've got to get a good return in them 4 games if we're serious about making the playoffs. We've been in there all season, and we haven't really been out the top 3 for much of the season, but we look far from a top 3 side at the moment. But as I've just said to you, this group has definitely shown what they're capable of, and we need to graft as hard as we possibly can to get ourselves back to where we know we can be.
On a positive note, Callum Jones came in today. We didn't see too much of him, but
Yeah.
when he did have a chance, he took it really well.
Yeah, well, similar to Sydney last week, wasn't it? I mean, I thought Sydney, played a positive part in last week's performance. If any positives to come out of it was him, but today Callum, I think he fed off of scraps. I think our quality into him was too long, too direct, and with nowhere near enough quality. So we didn't tend to find him as much as I would have. But he's again shown what he's capable of. To come in and get a goal when you only met the players on Thursday speaks again volumes for him. But we need to be better. We need to be better in our build-up play. We're not as good, when we, go back to front with no real purpose and aimless balls up to the front. We're a much better side when we play through the lines. But playing through the lines takes, you need confidence, and you need belief, and you need players wanting to express themselves. And as I've just said to you, we haven't got a group that are quite in that place at the moment. So it's again my working week ahead of me is to try and instill that back in the boys. I know, as I said to you, I know, what they're good at and what they can be, and and I've got to make sure that we are better than what we were today, because today was, for large parts, was nowhere near it.
Thanks, Gary. Thank you.
You're welcome, Chris.